So by far one of my favorite focal lengths that I like to shoot is around a 75mm, 85mm range. And not just classically for portraits. I mean, it does a great job at that, but actually for street photography. I just feel like that focal range sort of matches what I see naturally, you know, the way that I see the world. I love that it gives me some distance from subjects so I can still catch candid moments, but also still close enough that I can engage with them and just get those more intimate shots. So this is the Thypoch, although I always want to pronounce it Thypoch Simera 75mm f1.4. A beautifully machined lens, M mount, but I've got it here on my Sony, and I actually took this to not only Las Vegas, Nevada, but also Prague in Czechia, and I got a chance to test this both on digital and film. I think you're gonna really like it. I'm Chris Niccolls, this is PetaPixel. Let's review this lens. This episode is brought to you by ACDC Photo Studio Ultimate 2025. From the trusted pioneers at ACD Systems, this powerful software lets photographers and creatives just like you conquer their photo editing and workflow needs. ACDC Photo Studio Ultimate 2025 is trusted by the global community and is a constantly evolving software that offers extensive raw support for over 700 different cameras. Featuring lightning-fast AI-powered tools like the incredible AI Super Resolution, which intelligently enhances your photo resolution and image detail while also removing unwanted noise. AI Sky Replacement easily creates stunning vistas, and the redesigned masking group tool gives you the control with AI object, color range, and luminance range options. Plus enhanced management using ACDC tabs, this is the ultimate solution to achieving photo perfection. Photo Studio Ultimate 2025 harnesses GPU acceleration for its powerful AI tools to give you a significantly faster editing experience. Take control of your images today. Check this out at the ACDC website. So one of the things that always stands out to me about the Thypoch lenses is just how well machined they are. They're always made to very tight tolerances. You get this nice little metal lens hood at bayonets right on the front. That surrounds a 58mm filter thread mount. We've got a really nice aperture ring here, and this does a couple of cool things. First off, in the wider apertures, you get third stop increments till you get to f4. Then you have half stop increments to 5, 6, and then from there, it's full stop increments to 8, 11, and 16. And let's say you want that aperture to be smooth turning instead of with a click. Well, with a flick of a switch, you can absolutely have that, and now it just turns nice and smooth. And they also give you this beautiful little depth of field indicator here. I love this. You can see on your focal range exactly how much that depth of field is going to cover. Nice, smooth manual focus ring as well. As I mentioned, this does not have any electrical connectivity, so there's no EXIF data. I'm sorry, I tried to remember the apertures I shot at. I couldn't remember, but I shot a lot at 1.4, I'll tell you that. What I also like to see is actually what I'm not seeing, and that's the kind of annoying Thypoch focusing lock on the manual focus ring. They've done away with that on this lens, and I could not be happier. Now, I also mentioned that I was using this not only on digital with this Tech Art adapter that gives me autofocus capability, but also on a Voigtlander Bessa. That gave me the option to shoot this in a native M-mount rangefinder platform, as well as shooting black and white film, which I love. And one of the best ways to evaluate image quality is just to see some good old-fashioned images. But Jordan wasn't able to be alongside me all the time in Vegas, and he wasn't there with us in Prague, so we don't have any B-roll of me shooting the lens like normal. So I thought instead, why don't we just give you guys a classic old-school slideshow, just like, you know, your uncle or grandpa used to force you to sit down and watch through, you know, like on a bed sheet or something like that. Invite family members over that don't want to be there. Anyways, it's going to be great. You'll love it, I promise. Here we go. Let's start with Vegas first. This is the Flamingo, a famous casino. Back in my day, it was called the Flamingo. Here is somebody playing a game of billiards. Billiards is a game for rogues and philanderers. I don't want to catch any of you in a billiards hall anytime soon. This is, well, he used to be my good friend, Matt Johnson, who is Matt, but he actually prefers f-stoppers to PetaPixel, so this is the last time we'll ever speak of him. And now I want to take you to the romantic city of Prague, where I shot everything in black and white film because I'm what you call an auteur. And you can see here, I really wanted to focus on capturing the lovely people of Prague. You know, look at all these creepy shots that I'm getting of people in Prague completely unaware to my presence. And what fascinates me most about the people of Prague, they're all relatively in good shape, which is strange considering that their entire diet consists of beer and fatty pork. It's incredible. Anyways, wonderful city. I can't wait to get back. Hey, get off your phone. You're missing some stuff. These are masterpieces. Every frame is a painting here. Look at this. Banger after banger after banger. But look, beer and people and people talking about beer. Look at the interplay of the light streaming through the window and the graininess of the film and just the subtle reflections. It's pure magic. Look at this, a church door. And not only did I capture people in front of this church door, but actually waited till they were perfectly framed by it. Do you know how hard that is? Okay, I'm sure you guys loved every second of that, but actually one of the best ways to really evaluate image quality is by using electronic flash so you can get maximum sharpness. So let's check that out next. Okay, so for our lit portrait, I thought we'd try like a classic lighting technique, sort of this athlete lighting, because as a fly fisherman, I'm in an upper echelon of elite athletes. Anyways, we don't have to talk about that, but we've got a 3-light setup here. I've got a Westcott FJ200 as my main light up there, just with a small softbox. I've got twin FJ400s. These are out of position right now, but these are going to provide this rim lighting on my shoulder and on the side of my face. We're going for athlete lighting here, but the real stars of the show are these rapid box switch 1x3s with grids. These are going to give me that hyper focused, just long, narrow light just to kiss my shoulders, this outside of my arms, and put that nice highlight on both sides of my face. And so I'm actually going to be the self-portrait here. Jordan's going to be my robotic, food-powered picture taker remote cable release. I think he's okay with that. Anyways, let's try and see what the photo looks like. And so there you go. You can see that classic athlete lighting. It also really shows off the sharpness inherent in the Simera 75mm, especially when you're stopped down to f5.6. So if you want to mimic this same kind of lighting setup, go to fjwestcott.com, check out the FJ200s and the FJ400 flashes, but really you definitely want to have these strip boxes like these switch 1x3s. Click the link in the description below or go to fjwestcott.com and find them today. We love the lights that they provide, and that is why they're PetaPixel's preferred lighting partner. Let's talk about flare next on this bright sunny day, and actually this lens did better than I thought it would. So you can see here shooting wide open at 1.4, actually really good contrast. We're not getting too much of a washed out area, a little bit though in the opposite corner, and you will see sometimes the occasional purple splash of light, but pretty minimal. When you stop down a bit though, yes, you will see more of that ghosting, sometimes a bit of a ring reflection as well. Those often actually look kind of cool, but flare's not terrible. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's far from the worst. Okay, time to talk about LoCA and Bokeh, or LoCA and Bokeh, however you want to put it. And when we talk about LoCA, that's that longitudinal chromatic aberration. That's where your foreground and background areas will often pick up a severe color cast. And if that does happen, it's almost impossible to get rid of in post. So it's very undesirable. We also tend to see it in wider aperture, faster lenses, exactly like this one. So how did the Simera do? Well, looking here at our test chart, you can see there is a fair amount of LoCA, absolutely. You'll see that sort of magenta green split. It's quite prominent. And you'll notice this also, even if you're shooting flat objects or just scenes where you've got a bit of a background with contrast, and unfortunately that can be a little bit hard to get rid of. Shooting black and white film, complete non-issue. Okay, well, what about Bokeh? Well, as I talked about already, this has got a really nice circular aperture, and this tends to give us very soft, smooth-looking bokeh. Our specular highlights are actually quite clean. I'm not seeing a lot of onion rings or anything like that. Bit of a strong soap bubble effect, and I would say that the Simera sometimes has more of a harsh, frenetic-looking backdrop when it's out of focus. You know, that's something you got to consider. But overall, though, I do still feel like this lens has really nice bokeh, renders background softly, nice transitions from in focus to out of focus. So it does a good job. Okay, the Thypoch Simera 75mm, can it sharp? Yes, it can. Actually, looking at our by now world famous test charts, you can see here shooting f1.4. Very good detail, maybe not as much contrast as you would like, but the detail in the center is there, and we stop down the lens slightly, it just gets better. That contrast comes back, already tons of detail, nice and sharp. The corners though on this lens are a little bit softer. I mean, here at 1.4, you can see they still need a little bit of work, and that's focusing specifically in the corners. And when stopping down, they still have kind of a blurred, smeary look to them. So I think for most of the stuff I'm going to shoot this lens for, street photography, portraiture,
that's not really going to be a major issue. But if you're looking for straight across sharpness over the whole frame, well, this might not be your best choice. So who is the Simera 75mm 1.4 for? Well, first off, I think it really depends on what camera you're going to mount it to. If you're going to go digital and use an adapter, it is interesting because you get the character of the lens, you get the limitations of using a manual focus lens, and you might really enjoy that. They're not expensive lenses if you compare them to things like Voigtlanders or certainly like M glass, but they're still getting up there in price. And I think, like, for example, if I had a Sony A7R5 myself, I'd be tempted to go Sigma 85mm 1.4, get the autofocus, get the near perfect optical performance and be done with it. Where I think this lens really shines is if you're going to use it on M-mount cameras. I mean, certainly it's an incredibly affordable alternative to a lot of the M-mount lenses you'll find. And I think if you're shooting film especially, there's something about the soft tonality that this delivers, especially on black and white images. I think it just shines beautifully on film. It's really, really nice. But regardless, if you're shooting on a digital mirrorless, digital rangefinder, or film, I still think this is a really cool option because, if you want to get that more dreamy, soft look, shoot at 1.4. If you stop it down even to f2 or 2.8, you're going to get fantastic sharpness that will absolutely resolve any sort of 60 megapixel full frame sensor out there. So this is a really interesting lens. I had a lot of fun using it. I think that's a key thing to get across. Let us know what you think about the new Thypoch Simera 75mm 1.4. Get yourself a PetaPixel.com membership. $3 a month. $30 a year. You get to peruse the website without any ads. You also get big discounts on our merch store, big discounts with our partners, and you get to see all the sample galleries that we shoot, including this lens, so you can pixel peep to your heart's content. Anyways, we always love the feedback. We love the comments. Check out the PetaPixel podcast. It's on this exact same channel or all your favorite podcasting apps. This is Chris. I'll see you soon with more on PetaPixel.